Unit 47, Schools and Rules. This unit is about rules and regulations. We look at how to talk about what you are allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do. We also visit a school for girls between the ages of 12 and 18 and hear about the rules they have to follow. Exercise 2. Listen and read. Here are some examples of rules and regulations.
You're not allowed to have visitors in your room.
You're not permitted to have visitors in your room.
You may not have visitors in your room.
You can't have visitors in your room.
You must not have visitors in your room.
They don't let you have visitors in your room.
Exercise 4. Listen and read. Here are some examples of obligations.
You have to turn the lights out at 10 o'clock.
You must turn the lights out at 10 o'clock.
They make you turn the lights out at 10 o'clock.
Exercise 6. Listen and order. We asked 5 people what they thought of the rules at the schools they went to.
Were there any rules you didn't like at school?
I can't remember liking any of them. I disliked all of them.
I didn't like having to wear short trousers till I was 13, especially on cold winter days.
Where I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley, it was so hot that the temperature never got below 60 degrees. And they wouldn't allow us to wear shorts, and I thought that was kind of ridiculous.
It always irritated me that only staff were supposed to walk through the front entrance of the school, so I always walked through the front entrance of the school and got in trouble for it.
I was fortunate in that I went to a school with no rules.
Exercise 7. Listen and complete. David, Natalie and Kevin talk about the rules at their different schools.
Schools, of course, have lots of rules and regulations. At my school, for example, boys had to wear white shirts. You weren't allowed to wear a shirt that was any other colour.
Really? At my school, they didn't let you go into the classroom if the teacher wasn't there.
At my school, you were allowed to wear what you liked. And they let you go where you liked, too.
Exercise 8. Listen and read.
You're supposed to wear a life jacket when you go sailing.
You're not supposed to go sailing without a life jacket.
Exercise 10. Listen and check. If you're a young bird trying to learn how to fly, things can be difficult. Repeat the sentences which use supposed to.
You're supposed to start flapping your wings before you take off.
Sorry.
Try again.
Oh, I see.
Honestly, you're not supposed to stop flying when you're in the air. You're supposed to keep going.
Look, I can do it.
That's very good.
Is it all right if I do it again?
Not now. Let's wait until tomorrow.
Exercise 11. Wickham High School, a grammar school for girls. Listen and read as the head teacher, a teacher of Spanish, and a sixth form pupil talk about some rules at the school.
Wickham High School is a secondary school. It's for girls only, and it's a grammar school, which means we have to pass an exam before we can enter the school.
The girls tend to sit an exam at 12 in their primary schools, and depending on the results of that exam, we take in about the top 30% of intelligence levels.
There are only 145 grammar schools in the country out of the several thousand secondary schools in the country, so it isn't typical of secondary education in this country.
There are about 1,000 pupils. There's a main school and a sixth form, which run separately. In the main school there is a uniform. Pupils are supposed to wear a blue and white striped shirt. In the second and third years they're supposed to wear a navy jumper, and in the fourth and fifth years it's a burgundy jumper. It's a specially designed school jumper with the school emblem on, and they have to wear a navy skirt. At the moment, they let us wear any type of shoe as long as it's black and smart. But when I first joined the school, they made us choose between 5 different pairs of shoes, and we had to wear one of those.
Exercise 13. Listen and read. Can the girls move around the school as they wish? The head teacher explains.
Wherever the girls move inside the building, there are fairly narrow corridors and staircases. So girls must walk on the left at all times. They're not allowed to run in the corridor at any time. And they must be very careful when they're climbing stairs to keep to the left. We have to have quite strict rules also about movement outside, because we have quite a few narrow walkways, and so therefore also there are areas where the girls are only allowed to walk in one direction. So there is one way into a building and another way out, and they're not allowed to turn around in the wrong direction.
Exercise 16. Listen and read. There are also rules for the pupils' behaviour. Here are some of them.
The main school have to stay on site during the lunch hour, but the sixth form are allowed to go outside school as long as they're back within the hour. We're not allowed to go down to the bottom of the field, and there's another area around the side of one of the buildings where we're not supposed to go either.
The perimeters of the school field are actually out of view from the main buildings, and girls may not go beyond an area where the ground dips down and they're out of sight. This is for their own safety, as well as for us to make sure that they're not breaking the no smoking rule. The rules about smoking in the school are strict. No girl is permitted to smoke under any circumstances, either in school or on her way to and from school.
In the sixth form, there are 3 areas in which we can stay during the study periods. We can either go to the library, and that's a silent area, so we're not allowed to speak at all, or we can go to the study room. We're permitted to eat and to talk quietly in there, or we can stay in the common room, and we can do anything in there. We can make as much noise as we like.
Exercise 17. Listen and complete the sentences. Are rules necessary in a school? The head teacher thinks they are.
I think the ability to conform to rules, provided those rules are accepted as reasonable and sensible, is part of being a law-abiding citizen and being able to fit in to whatever social structure you're in. I see no reason why girls should not question rules, and I would encourage them to do that. I think it does prepare them for the world of work, where there are even stricter rules and regulations in many ways, particularly in health and safety, and things that one can, must, or must not do.